We both grew up in Christian households, and our parents really modeled for us biblical principles when it came to finances. Tithing was a non-negotiable from the very first time that I made chore money or whatever. I was taught that that was just what you did. It wasn't negotiable.
Is this something that you did when I started making money? When I started working, it's what I did. Even though it was $80 paychecks, I still tithe at $80.
Beyond that, giving and generosity was really important, and I know for me, my parents really modeled doing that sacrificially, not just when it was easy or felt good or they had lots of extra, but it was just you were generous, and that's just what you did, even if things were tight for you anyway. I always knew that someday when I got married that I wanted my husband to have those same values, and I wanted us to be on the same page financially. Like we said before, tithing is a no-brainer. We just do it, and that's the first thing that comes out.
Just a few months before we were married, I was given a large sum of money as a birthday gift, and as we were getting married soon, we had plenty of places we could have put it towards. Plenty of areas, but I really felt that God was telling me to be generous with it and to give it. And this was not even tithing. This was just giving to give, essentially. Yeah, above and beyond. We talked about it, Jerry and I. We talked about it, and we did it. We gave, and God was so faithful. We got married in August of 2011. And it came down the wire. We were looking for a place to live, and it was getting kind of scary. We thought we were going to be living in her parents' basement, which would have been totally fine for to start out,
but not ideal.
Right. So we were looking around for apartments, and the apartment complex we live in, it's usually there's a line to wait in, and we applied 2 weeks before we got married, and it's unheard of. Usually it takes 6 months, whatever, but we got in
2 weeks.
Yeah, and God has been so faithful in all areas of our life.
God really has blessed us, not just in unexpected gifts, but a lot of the times it's work opportunities. I have a second job that I was given recently that was just offered to me, that I can work 1 day a week at a local restaurant and just have some cash from that, and that's just a little extra that kind of gives us a little bit more margin in our lives.
I do freelance graphic design and video, and there are some seasons where it's almost like I can't breathe. There's so much stuff to be done, but there are other pockets of time here or there where there seems to be nothing. It gets kind of scary, but God has always provided work and always provides jobs and opportunities.
In some of those harder times, I'll be sitting there balancing the checkbook and just kind of freaking out about where it's going to come from to pay our bills and to make the expenses that we have. And we don't make tons and tons of money, but God has always just been so faithful. And I truly believe when we are faithful and obeying Him, it's not our job to provide for ourselves. I mean, it is in a way. He honors the work that we do, but it's no longer completely our burden to make sure that we have enough. When we're living in obedience to God and living in His economy, like we talk about sometimes, it's His job to make sure the ends meet, and He has without fail done that.
God always reminds me of Philippians 4:19, that God, He will supply all our needs according to His riches and glory, and it's a
promise.
Yeah, I fall back on that all the time. It's a promise, and He's never failed in that, and He won't.